everybody, ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Star Wars Black Series Darth Maul. It came in some episode 1 packaging. I'll post a photo right now. This was a set I was really looking forward to. I did pre-order also the episode 1 Duel of the Fates 3-pack, so I can't wait for that to come out. And then there's also going to be a single carded release that comes out without the most of the accessories here, like the probe assassin droid, the binoculars, and the robe and the Sith speeder will not be included in that single carded release. He will also have, instead of soft goods on the bottom portion of his tunic, he'll have plastic goods, sculpted plastic for the bottom of the tunic. So this is really the only release that comes with the binoculars, the probe assassin droid, the stand for it, the stand for the Bloodfin Sith speeder, and also the Maul's speeder itself, and the robe also. So this is the one that comes with pretty much everything. I think I was looking forward to this the most. I do have the Figuart speeder on me. I got it, like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and that's a really good sculpt. The base sits a little bit high for the Sith speeder, but that's a nitpick, I think. This is still a really fine looking figure, a really nice release. It was originally $60. I believe as of per the date of this review, it is still up for order, so you can actually just order it. It's not up for pre-order. It is readily available. I don't know if this set is going to end up like the Force Unleashed Starkiller set. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but we're getting 3 releases of this new Maul body, and it is an all new body, all new head, everything on him is new. Comparing to his original design, what they were going to do for the concepts, I think this is a far better look for Maul. And I love that we actually are getting like more screen accurate looks for Maul. So that's also a plus, I think. And especially with the robe. The robe is I think was the biggest pet peeve, is that I hated that stupid plastic robe. Even when it came out, I wasn't a big fan of it all those years ago when I did that review back in 2013. And then getting this now, pulling the robe down, you can see, like, oh my god, it looks so good. The face sculpt looks so nice. And we'll do some comparisons with some other Mauls in the past, but this head sculpt looks really good. I am quite pleased with it. And I also think that the lightsaber, which is, I guess, a... oops, his hand popped off. Yeah, he is on ball-jointed wrists now, no hinges. So, but I guess a point of contention for a lot of people was the lightsaber being a little bit too malleable, too flexible. I don't really have an issue with it. I think if you cool it down with some cold water, it hardens a little bit better. Mine wasn't really all that malleable and bendable. I mean, it's got some flex to it, but it's nothing beyond the norm for most Hasbro stuff. So I really don't think it's that big of a deal for me. Everything plugs in. If I can get this other side plugged in, there we go. And now we can, he's got his double bladed. Let me back out again because I'm way too close. This looks really good. I am just really pleased with it. I always like this look for him. And he poses so much better. This new body is so much better. This has got to be the best Maul that we've got outside of the Figuarts one. His stance is a little bit like a hair taller than the original, I'll show you that in comparisons, but the overall look and feel and fit and finish, I think, of the figure is very well done. He does come with his, I guess, control bracelet. I'll just call it that. And then you can remove the double bladed lightsaber, which, you know, like I said, it's a little malleable when it gets to the center, just because it's got a kind of a thinner like peg system. But it still does peg in nicely. You feel like it's kind of set a certain way. And all you really want to do to kind of figure it out is there are little, and let me back up a little bit and then I'll zoom in. There are little red activators right here and here. You just want to make sure all of those are lined up to get the lightsaber lined up the way it's supposed to be. So make sure all of those are lined up with each other and you should be good to go. So I think that's a non-issue with some of it. Back to the figure at hand here. Let me take off his robe really quick. And as we can see, there's a lot of sculpting, new sculpting going on with the body. It is very poseable, very nicely done, I think. The head paint for the tattoos on his face are a little bit darker of a red. I don't think that's a bad thing. It makes him look a little bit more menacing. But I think in episode 1, when you got up close and personal in his face, it was a little bit brighter. Like I said, that's kind of a nitpick, just a small gripe. But you can take the control bracelet off. You can, you know, really work with these soft goods too. And he's got the soft goods so he can sit on the Sith speeder. That's kind of the point here. But yeah, I really do quite like this as far as his articulation does go. And I want to get this out of the way because it is a brand new body. We do have a ball pegged head, which it can look up about that far. It can look down about that far. It can tilt side to side. It can rotate full 360. See if he's got jive turkeys. Oh yeah, we got some gobbles up in here. So we got some good gobbles. Arms go up about that far. Same thing for the other side. Down, full 360 in the arm. It does have a really nice, like really, I mean, this is probably one of their best butterfly joints that they have ever done. So single bend at the elbow, which is way more than 90 degrees. Very well done there. And a swivel at the elbow. And then we also have a swivel. We have a ball peg wrist now. There's no hinges, so he can go up and down if you need him to, and he can go left and right on that ball peg, which down the line, that's going to either help or hurt, I think, some characters, and you really kind of have to push that ball peg in. You saw a couple times the wrist pop off, but I think if you just push it a little bit more in, it seats a little bit better. We'll see with other characters if it works really well, but I think it's going to be a better thing for the line down the road if, so facto, they continue it. He's got a diaphragm joint, which can do this, can tilt side to side, swivel. He can do the splits the best out of mostly anybody in the Black Series, which he should be able to. Legs go forward, legs go back, upper thigh swivel. He does have a swivel there. It's right there. There's the cut joint. He has a single jointed knee, which is more than 90 degrees. Very well done there. He also has a swivel at the knee. He does have a boot swivel. It is a little limited just due to the sculpting of the pants, but it's there. Pointy toe, pointy heel, ankle pivot, 2 peg holes, and a partridge in the old pear tree. So yeah, man, I really do like this. I mean, you can really get him into some awesome posing. Let me get that wrist in there. And, you know, like I said, with the wrists, it is much improved as far as what you want a figure to be able to do. And it's stopping the limitations, I think, of some other figures that it can only get so far with range of motion and such like that. This kind of gives you carte blanche to do a little bit more with what you want with the wrist. So if you want to have him stanced at a ready pose, let's get him into a proper kicking pose. Let's see if he will stand now. I'm just kind of working the figure a little bit. Let's get his arm a little bit back here like he's kicking. Let's see if I can get him standing. He's wanting to stand, so let's see if I can work it a little bit and get him to kick. Almost there. Oh, a little bit, it's, I wouldn't say loose in the ankle, but there you go. You can see no hands. He can kick. He's falling a little bit, but if I work it a little bit more, I'm just kind of doing this in real time, so trying not to edit too much. But that's essentially it for the articulation, range of motion. I think it's far more improved, especially comparing to the original. I mean, there's really no comparison there as far as the articulation and range of motion. So good on you, Hasbro, as far as the figure goes. I really do like this soft, good robe. I think for a lot of people, if you don't like the soft goods on the tunic, which I know there's a lot of people that don't like it, you can just wait for the 3-pack to come out. It does come with the robe, it comes with his lightsaber, and it comes with the sculpted plastic robes for the tunic. So, but no binoculars, no probe droid, and then no Sith speeder if you're waiting for that 3-pack. All right, we're going to set him aside really quick, and then we're going to get, oops, I'm knocking stuff over. Already talked about the lightsaber. You can remove it on both ends and split it if you need to, so you can really get any look that you're trying to get out of him with this set. So if you want to go for the, you know, Obi-Wan just split his lightsaber in half look, you can do that. In episode 1, he didn't really have dueling lightsabers. He just had the double-bladed, but that's neither here nor there. Here is the binoculars, which I think they look very well done. There's a lot less paint on this one. It's pretty much just like a gunmetal plastic. So I wish there was a little bit more sculpting and paint. There's a little red dot for an activator there and then a black dot. But there's no black for the looking part. This is where he would look through. So he would look through this area and be looking down scope down here. So it's fine. It looks like it's got like a little peg right here, but there's nowhere to peg it on him. And this peg hole right here, which you would think you could peg that into, is strictly for the lightsaber peg. So, and that's pretty much it. And just to kind of show that, they do peg in nicely. So if you want to have them in like a neutral stance, you could do that. And I think the one thing with most Maul figures is that once you get this pegged in, it's kind of like you have to angle it. You can't have it just sitting kind of naturally straight up and down because of the sculpting of the upper torso. And these are separate pieces sculpted on. So if you want to snip this off, I guess you could. I'm not sure why you would. Maybe you're a customizer or something like that. You're trying to, you know, release a little bit of hindering for the articulation. I guess you could do that if you really wanted to. But yeah, to get this in, you kind of have to angle it, unfortunately. And it's not the best peg hole for it. Get that in there. There we go. It's in, and like I said, it's gonna have to sit like this a little bit. And then let's get that in there. So it's unfortunate that it can't really go like this because it's just gonna fall out. I guess that's a little bit better right there. So there you go with that. Let me zoom out because I am way too close. But there you go. He is standing, you know, you can have him doing whatever you need him to do. So there's that. He can hold the binoculars in his hands, just like the original Maul could. He could barely do it, I think, the original Maul, but he could do it. I remember having him do it. I think I even did that in the original review all those years ago. Good old 11 years ago. But let's get his arms out so he's not looking like a goofball while he's doing this. Oops, and there goes the binoculars. Let's slide those back in like so. Just got to keep working it, and then you can have him looking through there. So no issues there, really. So there you go with that. And you can get the head closer, work the wrists, work the arms, and you can really get him in on that. So there you go with that. Or you can have them one-handed, whatever you want to do. The world is your oyster. So that's the figure's accessories for the most part. Let's get to the major accessories. We'll just set him down over there. Let's talk about the probe droid, and then we'll get to the coup de grace. The probe droid just kind of pegs right in here. I'm going to depeg it. It comes in this nice, clear, thick plastic display stand for it, which is quite nice. Very reminiscent of the 3 3/4 inch, I think, Legacy Deluxe Maul that it came with. I actually have that set. I think I did a review of that a long time ago also. But the probe assassin droid looks really cool. It would have been cool if he came with some attachments. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to back up a little bit and then zoom in. There's not a whole lot of paint here. It's just pretty much like a sculpted plastic, which is a little bit unfortunate. I guess, you know, you would like to have a little bit of red here and maybe possibly like a silverish color for the eyeball, maybe another red there. And then I think I do wish that this was a harder plastic for the antenna, because it does like to bend very easily. It's a very soft plastic, and it likes to do this little curl, which I don't think the original one did that, of course. But like I said, another nitpick, not a big deal. It's stuff that you can work around. But that's the probe assassin droid. There we go, like that. And then over here, we have a display stand which can peg into the back. Now, it is a very tight peg, and I've seen other reviewers like Landspeeder Luke and a couple others like Out of the Basement kind of notate that it is such a tight fit that I don't know if you really want to mess around with taking this off and taking it on, because it did stress some of their plastic on there. So just, be aware of that. A lot of people were kind of nitpicking the paint job on this. Now, the original set is based off of, there's little themes off the 3 3/4 inch deluxe set, like I said, from the Legacy line, I believe. But there's also a 12-inch figure, which I actually own. I bought that set for like $20. I want to say maybe about 6 years ago. And it pretty much came with everything you would see here, and including the blood fin, which I actually originally bought that whole set so I could have a blood fin for my Hot Toys figure. And if you go check my old collection videos from when I still lived in good old Buffalo, New York, I actually had him set up on the Sith speeder, or with the blood fin or whatever. But it is a nice sculpt. There are paint apps on it. You can see there's some brown here, some brown there. It's a little bit lighter of a plastic, but I mean, you kind of, I don't know. You can nitpick it and say you don't like it, and that's fine, and you can pass on it. But, for us getting more Black Series vehicles, I think it's a very welcomed thing. So I like the sculpt of the pads for the seat, or the leather pads for the seat. I think that looks really good. I think they did a really good job on that. And I even think the color of the plastic that they used looks really good. It almost looks, it doesn't look plasticky. It also has some texture to it, so it almost feels leathery, which is pretty cool. And then we've got some black over here, some browns mixed in. It's really a well done thing. We've even got some little black for the I don't know what that would be, a jet booster or something like that. Maybe I'll go and take a look at the original Sith speeder and just kind of maybe add some black lining throughout, and then some reds or whatever, and just here and there, and work it that way. The handlebar is articulated, and you can move it up and down if you need it to, whatever you want to do. There's not really much you can do with the pedals. The pedals don't really move. Oh, no, wait, they do move. Oh, wait, do they move? Or am I going crazy here? I think this part is articulated, but I don't want to... Maybe they move? No, it does. It feels like they're flexing, but they don't really move, I don't think. Yeah, because they're a separate piece that's plugged in, but I don't think they're supposed to move really. You do have some paint apps also on the foot pegs right there, some gray paint. And then on the display area, you do have some like red stickers, some blue stickers, and then some red, yellow, and white paint for that. So this is quite a nice set. I like that it sits a little bit lower to the ground. I feel like that's how it kind of drove, was lower to the ground. And most speeders usually kind of just hover. So I think it made sense as far as putting such a low stand on him, or on it, excuse me, for the speeder. But I really do like these soft good robes. Like I said, it had more of this like texture to it, where it was kind of like ridged, and I do like that. Which the original one with the sculpted plastic did not have this, so that's nice to see actually. Other than that, that's essentially it. That's all he really comes with. Let me zoom out a little bit here, and let me readjust. There we go. Future ODC here. I just did that whole review, and I just realized I didn't even show you guys how to put him on the blood fin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Sorry. So if I did a little jump cut here, this is future me realizing that I didn't do a thing that I probably should have done in the review, which is put him on the bike and show you how it looks when you put him on there. He does already come in the packaging on the bike, but you know, it's a review, so it would be unbecoming of a reviewer to not show you. So anyway, you seat him on the bike however you so choose, essentially, and then you want to take his feet and just peg them right into the heels, very similar to how some other Black Series vehicles have them set up, like the other speeder bikes, like the Scout speeder bikes. And then you just kind of want to work them in, get some crunching going on there, work the hands in, and then, you know, adjust your cape. The cool thing about this also, the horns actually kind of hold the cape right where you want it. And that's a really good, I think, nice look right there as far as that goes for him on the speeder. And the speeder also can wobble. You can have him going back a little bit like he's speeding up. You can have him going down. You can tilt him also, which I should have shown that as well, but you know, there you go. And just, you know, the feet do stay in there pretty decently. It's not too bad. Maybe get him, push his knees back a little bit so the feet sit a little bit better, but there you go. I think that's pretty good right there. And there's that nice little segment for you. Okay, so for the first comparison, I'll probably do what everyone really wants to see, which is the comparison with the original. Here is the original, and here's the old one. Now, you can see, I still like the original. It's got its charm, I think, and I don't really have too much of an issue with this Maul. I love that it came with the soft goods and the plastic goods kind of melded together. I love that. The lightsaber is a far better sculpt as far as that goes. I think it actually is different from the Sith Apprentice, and obviously it's going to be different from the Clone Wars Maul, and it's also going to be different from Old Man Maul from you know, the Gaming Greats Battlefront. But you can see the huge difference in size here. I think it's a little bit more accurate to what it would actually be as far as a size goes. This is like huge compared to that one. So you can, I mean, you can see, let me get this in here so you can see the, well, actually, yeah, let me do you one better. Let me just bring him in and you can see the huge size difference in between them. So there's that. I still do like this because you can see more of the sculpt closer up because it's just a larger sculpt. I don't think it's necessarily a horrible thing, but I would more lean towards this one just due to a little bit being a little bit more accurate. This Maul, like I said, very limited. He doesn't have butterfly joints. He doesn't have, I think he has a hinge joint. Yeah, he does have hinges right here. I actually have a couple knockoff Mauls from the old Star Wars day. Um, and that one actually doesn't have a hinge joint at the neck. It's just a ball peg. So that's how you can differentiate between the knockoffs and the original Maul. This one has the hinge joint. The other ones only had ball peg joints. And not good ball peg joints because it was a solid neck from here. Like, he's got 2 ball pegs. He's got one at the throat connecting to the body and then another one up top for the head. So, but the old one didn't have that. So there's your comparison with the original. I think the stance on him, the boots are far better sculpt also for him. He doesn't have these like weird grooves, and his feet aren't curved where they're flat now. So he stands much more at attention than the original Maul, where you had to get a little bit more of a wider stance, and he likes to do that teeter-totter that you just saw. So there's that also. And the comparison with the head sculpts. The let me just zoom in because this is getting a bit to be too much. The head sculpts this is far better. He had a little bit more of the rounded kind of, I guess, kid safe horns on the head. They weren't as pointy as they are now. And a lot of the paint on the original Maul wasn't necessarily the best. I'm going to be honest. You can see the red where that should be like bone colored. It's like the tip is bone colored. So they kind of goofed on the paint a little bit, but I guess this will still hold a special place in my heart just because it was, I think, between him and X-Wing pilot Luke, they were the first 2 that I got. And I got them essentially at the same time because I bought them or pre-ordered them from Big Bad Toy Store all those years ago. The next Maul that we'll do is the SH Figuarts Maul, which I think is the best comparison. This is a custom cloak. He didn't actually come with this. But I do have his blood fin. And let's just compare the sizes. Now, Figuarts runs a little bit small, but I think they're still kind of in scale, especially for Maul. This is very close to being like the same size. The Black Series version that came with him has got a little bit of a longer hilt for the double-bladed saber, but I still think it's very close as far as paint and design goes, and much more screen accurate as far as both of these guys go compared to the other ones. The wrist on this guy, for some reason, snapped. It is nothing of my doing. So there's just that. I think this is very close. This is, I would say this has got a little bit better face paint, face sculpt. But this is still really close. I mean, for essentially a $25 figure in this pack, I think you're really getting a bang for your buck. And if you wait for the single card release or the 3-pack, whatever you want to do, I still think at $25 for the figure itself, it's pretty damn close, I would say. Maybe others will disagree. I guess that's an arguable thing, but I still think it's a solid figure. Next up, we'll do, as I'm knocking Mauls all over the place, we'll do the Old Man Maul. And this is a nice progression in evolution with action figures. I really love this figure a lot. You can see that the face sculpts are different. He came in that kind of grimacing face, where he's got a little bit more of a relaxed face, but still got that piercing stare on the new figure. So really nice there. Obviously, the sculpts are going to be different. This is a much different version of Maul, so there's that. And then next up, we'll do the Sith Apprentice Maul, which is technically would be before this Maul, but he is using a newer upper torso. It's the same upper torso that they used for the Knight Brothers in the gaming greats for Jedi Fallen Order, but the face sculpts are still different there. It's the same face sculpt that's used in the gaming greats Maul that we just looked at. It's got that nice, angry, teeth grimacing face. So very well done with this. I still like this Maul quite a bit. I love the packaging for him too. it's nice to see that he's, you know, the shirtless upper torso. And I gave this a very good review as far as liking this figure. But he does still use those old legs, and I believe this is a new sculpted tunic though for it. So the lower half is still the old Maul, if so facto you wanted to know. Okay, and you know what? I'll do a comparison with one of the Knight brothers. There you go. As you can see, it's not the same tunic as the Sith Apprentice. It actually is sculpted differently. It's tattered, where this Maul is not tattered. So there is some differentiation between them. Still the same legs though. So there's that. And there's also got some sculpting here where this Maul doesn't. It's a little bit cleaner and a little bit glossier of a plastic. So, and a new head, obviously. But they did use the same upper torso as the Sith Apprentice. Okay, moving on to the last one, which is, I want to say, one of the absolute best. And I would say this is probably the second best Maul. A lot of people like the gaming grades more, but I like this one a little bit better. I do. I love the fact that I always like this look from the Clone Wars for him. And I love that he comes with his you know, very unique looking saber. He kind of fixed his double-bladed saber with he's got his original here, and then the other half is a newer hilt. So really cool. I love this Maul so much. The face sculpts, I want to say they pretty much, like, as far as the tone for the reds, they're pretty close. He might be just a hair darker. Maybe that's my eyes playing a trick on me, but still, all new head, everything on him. This is using some pieces of reuse, but a lot of it is a newer body for the most part. And just kind of so I can remind myself to see if the faces are different. Yes, they are different from the Sith Apprentice. This has a new head on it too. So you've got a lot of new with him, all new with him, and then some reuse with him, and then some new stuff. So he's got that grimacing face. He actually has a little bit of a grimacing face, but it's more of like he's only showing his top teeth. So he's actually showing some of his bottom teeth here. So they are different heads, just to let you all know. Just so you all know, in case you were curious about it. But there you go. There's a Maul. We'll bring them all in. We'll have a Maul party. We're going to the mall, Mom. The Darth Maul. I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke. It's nice to have Darth Maul. He's one of my absolute top 5 favorites of all time. I would say Luke, Malgus, Maul, Qui-Gon, and I would have to think about the rest. But those are my top 4, I guess you could say. So there's that. Okay, so for my final thoughts, final verdict on the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Black Series Deluxe Darth Maul. I mean, if the $60 price is really bothering you and the paint job is really bothering you that much, I guess you, like I said, you can pass on it. It's not a requirement that you get this. It is not, I don't know if it's essential for everyone to have to get this set. I like it quite a bit. I'm a bigger Darth Maul fan than maybe some other people, but I really do think this is a really good set for the price. I don't think it's too egregious. If this was like $100 set, I'd be like, get out of here. But at $60, not too bad. And I think, what was it? I had free shipping also, so it wasn't an issue. I love the soft good robes. I love that it comes with the probe assassin droid, because we don't have that. It's all new sculpt. So that's nice to have. And the blood fin, even though I do have the Figure Arts blood fin, and that's really nice. And now I have one here where I can have him actually seated on it. And that's really where this guy, or what this guy is going to be doing on my display shelf. He's going to be sitting on the Sith speeder with the probe behind him and his garb on. So I don't know, for a $25 figure, and then let's do the math, we've got 25. It's not even like you're paying, you know, 25 for the other two. You're essentially paying, what was it, 30 for this, and then you would be paying another $5 for the probe, and that would equal $60. So I don't think it's too bad. I really don't. So I'm going to give it a 2 thumbs up. I think this is a really nice, solid set, and I think you'll enjoy it. I think with the packaging, like I said, and how it looks, and it's very nostalgic based. If you didn't have that that original 12-inch figure, or even that 3 3/4-inch figure that I mentioned, you know, maybe this is not for you. And especially with the single carded release coming out, if you just wanted the new Maul in a new body, you can do that. They're at least offering that. This is not a requirement, like I said. It's an exclusive, and that's about it. Also, if you pre-ordered the 3-pack from GameStop, then you don't have to worry about this one at all. But I like the extra accoutrement, and I love the fact that we're actually getting some more vehicles, and I'm still holding out hope that one day we'll get an X-Wing. Luke Skywalker's X-Wing. That would be a nice big ticket item, I think, for a lot of collectors like myself to be able to say that they could have. Hell, I might even buy 2 of them if I can, because I would like to paint one and give it to, you know, either Biggs or Wedge. So anyway, I digress. I've gone on long enough. This is a very long review. I apologize, but I love the figure, and there was a lot to talk about, especially with the brand new body and all this new stuff being given to him. I love it. I'm not sure if the binoculars are the same sculpt as the originals. I don't have my original binoculars out. I was trying to find them, but couldn't find them, essentially, for the review, so I do apologize about that, but I still think this is a go get them. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. I've droned on long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Be sure to hit like if you liked the review. If you didn't, hit dislike. Leave a comment down below in that beautiful area for discourse. And yeah, let me know also if you did pick this up, or if you're planning to. Maybe you're on the fence. Maybe this review helped you a little bit. But also subscribe, because it takes 2 seconds to do, helps the channel grow. And the bigger I get, hopefully, you know, the more I can offer you guys as far as content. So, but let me know. Like I said, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.